Hi and welcome to another episode of Adventures of an Underdog. What is the change this time? Well, first of all, this is a video episode. You've never seen me. You get to see me. Hi everyone. This is Suchita, your expert. Every time I have my mentee, this time I have a CEO of Shine. Please welcome Akhil. Akhil Gupta heads Shine Business. Hi Akhil, welcome to our podcast.
Suchita. Thanks for me being here.
Shine.com is a leading job portal and a career expert. Through data, technology and innovation, it has been working towards bringing candidates and recruiters together and bridging the gap between them. It has recently tied up with Mint to do a research on hiring trends in this year. Let's ask Akhil, what are the latest hiring trends in 2022?
The key theme in today's world is scale faster and relevant. But we have seen that hiring managers have a lot of pressure on them to hire right and relevant talent in the least possible time. In our talks with multiple industry leaders across companies, what we have observed that they are experimenting with new age technology solutions to hire faster. So once the solutions is, let's say, assessment platforms, and what assessment platforms does, that they have pre-assessed candidate pool ready with them on a particular skill.
Right.
And this helps company to tap into that pool and scale much faster and fulfill the current need of the business. Okay. Where these platforms fail, what we have seen is that they are not able to scale much faster. And that's partly because of the availability of technology. At the same time, inertia on the candidates to appear for these assessments.
Right.
Similarly, upskilling is another way in which companies are tapping into to scale faster and hire the relevant talent. Think about all the new technologies that's coming and the scarcity of talent in those skills. So let's say data science, which has been making big waves for the last couple of years. Blockchain development, it's emerging very fast. Now there are not enough talent available in the market. And upskilling is the way wherein new courses come up and people take those courses and they become available for the companies to hire into and fulfill that demand. So in my view, other than all the usual things that happens in hiring, and that's in our report, scale faster and relevant is the one theme that's becoming more and more prominent with each passing year. And that's what comes up in our most discussions when we meet with the HR leaders across industries.
Right. In fact, you've answered some of my second question already, wherein I wanted to understand what are the upcoming skills, or rather the hot trends in terms of the skills which are being asked for. You answered some of them. But tell me, Akhil, the skills that are needed is changing and evolving with time. Help me understand, how is Shine playing a role, especially when this is the demand? These are the new skills that are needed by the recruiters. How is Shine helping candidates, and how is it helping the recruiters get those skill set using Shine?
Sure. There are two parts to this question. One is the candidate side, which is supply side, and the recruitment side.
Right.
On the candidate side, at Shine, how we think. We need to understand that, who are these people who get into this pool. They are very young, vibrant, and flexible people. Essentially in their, mid to late 20s, and have been working into the related industries. So either they pick up these industry facts, or they upskill, or they, just learn through their self-efforts. Now, what we need to do, we have to be very, very relevant to these people. And that's where, we want to position Shine as a young and vibrant platform. So I'm sure you would have seen that let's say, startups are laying off left and right.
That's right.
To the people who are into these skills. So we started Reboot with Shine campaign, wherein we are reaching out to our candidates through social platforms and telling them that life exists, even if you get laid off.
Right.
And you can come on Shine, and we have enough recruiters who are hiring you. Because what we believe, that these are the right candidates who will move on in the life tomorrow, and they will learn these skills. Right. And this is not candidate side that's happening. On the recruiter side, what we are doing, that essentially it's very straightforward, that it is not just that we are selling solutions where they come here, post jobs, search for the candidates and like that. we actually are working very collaboratively with these recruiters, that the kind of demand that they are seeing, and customizing solutions based on their needs.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I give you an example. So digital marketing is changing every 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So let's say we go back in 2008, banner advertising was the solution. You go a bit further, you see social media,
Mm-hmm.
then you see content marketing, and today, there are so many D2C startups who harp around using influencer marketing to scale up.
Right.
Right? So what we do, we understand the recruiter requirements and we make customized solutions to fulfill these demands.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say in this case, how we'll help them, that maybe we'll use some of the technology solutions to aggregate these kind of candidates,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe help recruiters to fulfill this demand in the lowest possible time.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than they come over on our platform and see that, whether these candidates are there or not, whether enough candidates are there or not. These customizations really help recruiters to fulfill their demand.
Right. Since we talked about layoffs, Akhil, and during the pandemic time, unfortunately, we did see a lot of it, a lot of downsizing happened, right, across. However, organizations have also been concerned about people losing jobs, and they've reached out for outplacing, some of these people getting affected. I understand Shine came in handy to them as well.
Yeah.
If you could talk a little about that.
Yeah. So we launched our Shine Outplacement service a couple of months back. And the key insight here was that when a person gets laid off, it is not only the job loss.
Yeah,
For a brief period of time, he goes through a mental agony,
that's right.
and wherein it creates a self-doubt in the mind of the person. I myself have seen multiple layoff cycles in companies, and I've seen how my colleagues have reacted to that. So being a responsible player in this market, we feel that we need to do something about candidates. On the other side, if you see, recruiters always need immediately available talent,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
So we believe that why don't we bridge these two gaps? So what we did, we said we have a Shine Outplacement service where any company which is laying off, we become their partner in this journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how it would help the company? It would help company in two ways. Okay. One is, of course, when they're laying off, they also have some responsibility towards departing employees.
Mm-hmm.
These departing employees will get jobs.
Right.
At the same time, business doesn't stop. They can earn some goodwill by doing the right stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's the gap that we're trying to fill in the recruitment side.
Right.
And as I said, that on the candidate side as well, we can really tell them that no worry, you don't need to worry that you have been laid off, but we are here to help you out.
Yeah.
And
Since we're talking about candidates,
Yeah.
right, and we're talking about health, mental health, especially during this time, in general, why do you call yourself a career buddy or a career expert? What do you mean by that when you say that?
Sure. So Suchita, if you see, Shine traditionally has been a job search portal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my fundamental belief that typical job search platforms will lose their relevance over years. And I talked briefly about, scaling faster, hiring, in the new skills and all that. And that's where, new kind of propositions are emerging, right? Upskilling, interviewing platforms, assessment platforms, and like that. At the same time, candidates' preferences are also changing.
Right.
So there was an article, from a prominent industry leader around moonlighting, and people,
Yes.
made big waves around that.
Right.
I believe as employer, we need to be very open-minded,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because people have tasted the flexibility.
Yeah.
And what really matters that whether they are able to meet companies' goals or not.
Right.
But what they are doing with these trends like moonlighting and all that, that should not matter.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, as a Shine, my vision is that we need to really challenge ourselves to think what are the new needs are emerging on the both candidate and recruiter side, and emerge, shine in those new lights. And I believe that being a player who serves 0 to 10 years kind of candidate in the market, we need to understand their needs and we need to touch them at different stages of their career. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we talk about tech talent. In our view, they switch job every 1.5 years. Okay. Now this is not like job hopping. They want to learn more.
Right.
But typically when they search for a job, there's a 3 months period in which they search for a job. But they still have 12 months period in which they are not looking for a job. What interventions we can bring in as a career buddy to help them out? So what we did, we launched our hackathon and assessment platform.
I see.
For tech as well as sales guys.
Okay.
Now this helps them in 2 ways. Of course, they can come here and showcase their skills by being, leader in the hackathon or whatever. At the same time, this helps us to capture their competence in our platform. So tomorrow on the recruiter side, we can show them that these are the candidates who are at a different level of capabilities and you can hire them much faster. So serving the both sides of community. And that's how we say that this is the right example of becoming a career-based platform rather than just a job matching platform that used to happen for so many years for so many players.
Right. Since you talked about moonlighting, Akhil, it brings me to another perspective, which is around the work environment and the working mode. Your research talks about different working modes: work from home, work from office, hybrid. Is there any trend in that? Is there some insight from there that one should pick up? When it comes to hiring or possibly adapting to the new way of working.
Yeah, sure. I think more than hiring, it's about the work culture and the way we look at talent that we need to think of. So COVID has taught everyone that, flexibly and effectively we can work from home.
Right.
So what we have seen that 90% of companies are really talking about either working from office or hybrid way of working. And that will help them to alleviate few of these problems. But if you go on the candidate side, what has happened, positively or negatively, whatever way, that candidates have become used to a particular way of working.
Right.
They need flexibility, they need work-life balance, and they feel that things can happen. Right? I believe when companies are talking about 90% work from office or hybrid, it is going to be a slow journey, a tough journey, because companies may face a lot of attrition because of this. And what I believe that companies need to create some engagement and learning opportunities for people that can happen when they come back to office environments. And be very, very open-minded to make this transition happen. Unfortunately, this can't be forced.
So, थोड़ा सा gear switch करते हैं अखिल, आपको किस तरह का way of working पसंद है?
So it depends that the way I think about it, that I need to be flexible being a leader. If there's a sales team, that's right, they have to be in market and not in office.
Absolutely.
That's what I believe.
Absolutely.
Right. At the same time, let's say our technology team, they are mostly working out of home. Data science team working mostly out of home. But then there are few initiatives, where Shine has to be evolved to a next level. And then I believe it has to be a co-located environment at least for next couple of months.
Yeah.
So as a manager, I see it in a very, very need-based way of working, and be not rigid about working only from office or working only from home.
I absolutely agree with you. In fact, जितनी भी research मैंने करी and being in HR myself, I think मैंने जो pick किया है, people are, while of course like you rightly said, they've gotten used to things. जो वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे थे उनको जूम फटीग हुआ है, जो वर्क फ्रॉम ऑफिस कर रहे थे उनका वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस उनकी क्रेविंग है. पर्सनली आई फील टू मी हाइब्रिड वर्किंग वर्क्स द बेस्ट, आई थिंक इन द फेवर ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एज वेल एज द एम्प्लॉय, जो आपको बैलेंस देता है. बेसिकली आप वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर रहे हैं तो आपको अपने घर की चीजें करने का मौका मिलता है, और ऑफिस कर रहे हैं तो आपको यू गेट टू मीट विद पीपल, यू गेट टू बॉन्ड विद देम. सो आई थिंक देयरफॉर अ हाइब्रिड मॉडल वर्क्स द बेस्ट टू माय माइंड आल्सो. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
And if you see, जो मुझे लगता है that this has bring in new challenges as well.
बिल्कुल, absolutely.
पिछले 2 साल में the kind of office space that we planned for, suddenly it is not only my need that people come back. Many technology folks are coming back through their managers. हमें वापस आना है, because we get bored at home.
Yes.
We want some change. And now the challenge is that, I don't have enough space to suddenly get them back. I need to plan for it. So as a leader as well, I'm going through a very different thought process these days.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I never thought मुझे ये भी सोचना पड़ेगा.
Right. But interestingly, I'll tell you, as an HR head, मेरे पास काफी कैंडिडेट्स इसलिए आ रहे हैं इंटरव्यू देने बिकॉज उनको वर्क फ्रॉम होम नहीं करना है एंड द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज कॉल्ड फॉर प्योर वर्क फ्रॉम होम. That is also happening. I mean, yeah. So that is another aspect to it. And talking about work culture, आपकी रिसर्च में एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग लिंकेज भी है attrition with increments का.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Yeah, so I think if you really see that, again there are multiple aspects to that. It is not tough to gauge that attrition happens because people are not getting enough increments or enough money. And because of COVID, for all the business pressures that came with it, actually companies restrained from giving enough increments to people. And now after 2 years when market has really opened up, we are seeing unprecedented attrition in the market, especially in technology sales, where demands typically remain higher. And the linkage that we have seen is that most of the companies, especially in IT, BFSI and education industries, almost 40% companies are seeing attrition in the excess of 30%. Okay. And these companies are taking measures wherein either they have given increments average of 20% plus, or what they are doing, they are not letting people go. They are preferring people to get retained. Because in today's world it's very tough. If a person goes out,
Agree.
then to hire a person is a totally new cycle in which you interview a person, you offer a person, then it ditches
and then
you.
Training and get the person up.
Then it ditches you, then you again hire.
Hiring
it's
costs
like
involved.
huge.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Right. Because of the attrition, do you think the whole trend of hiring in metro versus non-metro, that ratio is also changing?
Yeah, definitely. If you see that during COVID, most of the people gone back to their natives, and India is of course home to tier 2 and villages and like that.
Absolutely.
Now what we are seeing that many companies are actually planning to open their offices in smaller cities as well, wherever possible. Right? So big IT companies always talk about that. Let's say Infosys has centers in Chandigarh or let's say Jaipur. So we hear that these things may happen, where we are not sure that with this another view coming, wherein 90% people are talking about work from office and hybrid way of working, that how much of this will materialize. But there is no doubt there is a huge demand right now in tier 2 towns where talent is located.
Right. In fact, I keep saying this. I mean, as a recruiter, मुझे लगता है कि अब talent मुझे एक ही जगह से लेने की restriction नहीं है. Talent is available not just in India, across the globe, depending on the kind of job that it is. So of course, ये जो research है, अखिल, this is my last question to you. बहुत recruiter focused थी research, काफी insights for recruiters हैं. You're planning another research, I think. You're planning another survey. Throw some light on it. क्या होगी, किसके बारे में होगी?
Yeah, sure. So I think this is a very, very pertinent question around our vision of this quarterly report. So what we are seeing that there are multiple reports that exist today in the market, but they're primarily around hiring focused and more number focused. But we have believed that just like anything in life, there are two sides to everything. On one side is our recruiters, but on the other side are candidates who get hired.
Right.
And then at the same time, it is not only about hiring. It's about the talent trends. And when you talk about talent trends, it's about hiring, it's about their training, it's about their onboarding, it's about their preferences. And our report will evolve over the next couple of quarters, talking about both sides, candidates and recruiters, and then looking at new trends. So just imagine, I talked about assessments and hackathons.
Right.
Can we share a perspective around that, how recruiters are using these kind of ways to hire more effectively? At the same time, when recruiters are hiring, our candidates also realize that participating in these kind of measures can boost their hiring prospects.
Right.
or earning ability. And this is what our vision is, that we keep looking at what's happening in market on both these sides and keep making everyone aware around what's happening in the talent economy.
Great. Okay. I think it's a great conversation we are having, and a lot of candidates as well as recruiters will benefit out of it. Thank you so much for coming over, Akhil, and sharing these insights with us.
Thanks, Suchita. Thanks for hosting me. Thank you.